Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to another fine episode of Hallyujuku. I'm Petey Rave, your man with no plan. Here with me is my friend, Brandon Cooper, aka King Cass. How you doing, Cass?
Right off the WSOP tour. No. I'm doing good today. I've had a good day. Played some video games, worked on some stuff. That's about it, really.
Mm-hmm. Yay. We're here gathered again to talk about East Asian pop culture. And of course, like we start every episode, we're going to talk about what music we've been listening to, what caught our attention this week. Kaz, what have you been listening to this week?
Let me figure out which one of these is actually my first song. All right. First on the list is our girl, Hyuna. I just like I said, when you're kind of sitting working and you just kind of throw music on, I usually go to Pandora for that. And you can save on Pandora by going to Hallyujuku Pandora. No. I usually just throw on Pandora and throw on one of my playlists, and I usually a lot of times go back to my Korean music playlist, and these songs came on today, and God, like they came on in a row, and they were instantly like, I'm going to talk about them. So Hyuna's Blacklist, which is just an awesome song, from Hyuna, and Hyuna is just a goddamn performer. And she's just so good in her like R&B electronic style that she does.
Yeah.
And I didn't necessarily want to feature this song itself. I just want to feature Hyuna. You know, like there are those people every once in a while where like, yeah, their music is awesome, but it's just a little bit of something more that makes them even more awesome. And with that, Hyuna is that type of person.
Yeah.
It's just, she has that little bit of something more about her that just makes her goddamn awesome.
Yeah. And I really dig this track too, especially because especially if you've watched Hyuna Free Month, like her reality show where she like chronicled like the leading up to coming out with this album. This was like a big part of it. The song, and it's also featuring Ellie of EXID. Who kind of helped write this and I think another song. It's kind of one of her best friends. And like this is for the context of the song, this is Hyuna kind of getting gutter and kind of a nondescript target, but kind of a diss track to a nondescript target. And every time she would like record this, or they would be a part of recording this, they would be commenting on the lyrics and like, man, this person you're singing about really pissed you off, huh? And man, you really want to get back at this person. Like, like, oh no, Hyuna's acting all cute. Like, no, it's not anybody in particular. It's just, it's a song. And I definitely love this, like, the choreography video is super fun. But yeah, I love Hyuna.
Yeah.
And this song is so much fun. But yeah.
And it also just is one of those things that lead back to me and kind of Petey's original, like, the hoodness of K-pop,
Yes.
like K-pop getting gutter, like,
yeah,
it happens. Like you got to get out there and do it sometimes.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of fun.
Yeah. But moving on to some more fun stuff.
A little more poppy, a little more fun, but, well, a little more poppy and still fun. A little less gutter, though, is U-Kiss, from their 6th mini album that was, released, what was this? I think the album was released in 2013, but this, video was out in 2012. Dora Dora. It's just like a fun song to listen to. The video's a little, boy pop, which you kind of expect, but the song is still so much fun. And U-Kiss is one of those groups that I don't necessarily full on follow U-Kiss day to day, but every so often there's a song that they release that catches me, and this is one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a cool song. U-Kiss has some good releases. They kind of fall into the crowd a little bit, with the boy groups. for me. But they do have some cool releases. The main reason I know who they are is because of Kevin's, how cool, the English speaking guys have been when they've been interviewed by Adria Kimchi, and B, because I watch After School Club, and Kevin and Eric Nam are actually kind of pretty fun on that show. And it's kind of, and they're pretty cool personalities. But yeah, this is a cool.
And there's some pretty cool dance steps in this video as well. Like there's some nice kind of two-step, like a lot of footwork stuff. Yeah. But then there's just some try to be really sexy stuff the lip rubs. That I'm just like,
you gotta have the lip rubs.
I'm just like, oh no, go back to the footwork.
It's like reaching out and doing this, and like. Which is a great moment for the audio listeners. But yeah, some fun dance moves. But you kiss some good stuff. There's AJ. But going on to what else do you got, Kaz?
Yeah. So this one, we've talked a lot about this person. One of our favorite members from Big Bang, Seryang. But we've never really ever featured music from him. I came to the realization the other day that we've never really featured music from him unless we were featuring Big Bang. Like we've done Delight stuff, we've done Taeyoung, we've done Top, done a lot of GD, mainly my fault. But we've never just straight out like talked about Seryang. So I figured I'd pick one of his songs that are a favorite of mine. Takes a sample from a Justin Timberlake song, and I just freaking love it. And it's one of my favorite songs.
Come to my. Yeah. This is like a little live performance that he did. Seungri. He's kind of he's a fantastic performer. He has his he's a fantastic performer. And apparently he's a pretty hilarious dude. He could sometimes get lost in which is tough because he could get lost in that group out of, considering all the personalities on that, in that group.
Yeah.
It's very easy to kind of lose him in the shuffle, but Seungri is a fantastic performer, in his own right. And he's has some fantastic songs. And he never forgets his towel.
Nope.
But yeah, gotta love Seungri. Some Big Bang. Waiting on that Big Bang album. God damn it, YG.
Yeah, yes. Oh my god. Well, since we're not gonna talk about that in headlines, there are rumor after rumor after rumor that a Big Bang album is in the works. And if you're not excited about that, you're living your life wrong. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you that right now. So. I know we've had our episodes back when the podcast was only about JYP and YG. JYP. Where we talked about the overbuild of hype at JYP and YG. We've talked about those things, and then we've talked about the not deliver from YG. It happens time and time again. We've talked about this, but every so often, you gotta jump on the hype train, and not the hype train of a new Big Bang album. Come on, how can you not jump on that?
Well, it's the fact that it's rumors, and it's not YG saying that it's that there's going to be an album. If YG tells you there's going to be a Big Bang album soon, you know that it's not going to happen soon. Any other source is more reliable than YG himself. But yeah, we can only hope. We get excited. But on my half of this, so music that caught my attention. Of course, I like to. I know I will feature after this some songs that are new releases, but I like to feature those. But I will talk about one that caught my attention. I was looking at just a random mix on YouTube. And this song caught my attention because this is a group that I know we've talked about before. D-Light, not to be confused with D-Unit.
Song that I fucking loved.
This isn't D-Unit.
Right.
D-Light, they have their song Mega Yak.
D-Light did also have a song that we both really liked.
their previous song MBLAQ, and I think we featured on them because they were big. They were a group that we talked about in I believe our year-end wrap-up last year. When we talked about kind of the 2012 debuts and what they've been through and how well they fared beyond that in 2013, looking forward. And then I've come to find that they had released a song this year, and I hadn't heard about it. Though honestly, it's probably not that surprising. The song "Hate You," and I listened to it, and I kind of dug it. God bless them. The video isn't the most high budget video in the world. The cameras aren't the best quality, and the green screening, not the best. But the song is actually pretty fun, and kind of the chorus is fun. The dance is kind of cool, and kind of the beat is really fun. Well, what did you think? Did you get it? Enjoy it?
Yeah, I really actually I had fun with the song listening to it. Like, I really like it. Like, it's something I could see rocking out to, just kind of listening to on the old phone or iPod, as the kids like to use nowadays. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. But I do definitely agree with you about the video. It is that, like, there is no color correction at all to them versus the background.
No.
And they kind of blend in a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Which is that green screeny effect. And sometimes they have the halo effect, which is where you take your film of them dancing against the green screen and then put it in on your composite of whatever color or whatever you wanted to put them in, kind of thing. So you can see that they stand out because of the lights, because there was no correction. So there's this bright halo around them, even when they're against a dark color, that you're just like, oh.
It's like you almost want to kind of send them a few episodes of Film Right and maybe just kind of help them out a little bit,
Yes.
It's not that hard. Just here. This episode. Just go. Maybe try to work on some Korean subs for them. But God bless them. This is God's bless them. This is a pretty fun song.
And I will also say this, right? I've been studying photography lately, and one of the things that one of the video series I consistently watch, you know what you could do? You can get Creative Suite for about $10 a month. You don't have to pay $700 for Adobe anymore. You can just pay $10 a month. You get all the great programs. You get Premiere, you get Photoshop, you get After Effects, all those great things right there. One easy package, $10 a month.
Yes. Do that, for goodness sake. But yeah, moving on to some new releases, as I like to do. Just a couple of new releases. First of all, Reina is back with another collaboration. Again, just like Soyu, Reina has kind of taken it upon herself to do the collaboration thing. This is going to be this is the thing this year. This year is kind of the solo singer / collab duo, year. Not only year of the rapper.
We even had that here in America with, Lady Gaga doing a record with Tony Bennett, I think.
Yes. Cheek to Cheek, which I hear is fantastic, which I heard about constantly thanks to my co-host, Brett Hibbard. he was the one that was riding the hype train for that one, and on Record Breakers. But yeah, Reina, who previously did a song with Mad Clown, and that was a pretty good success, came out with a new single featuring Kanto of Troy, the group that Bumpkey is also a member of, called You and Me. I can't tell you how that title works, but hey, it's there. And it's kind of if you know the song that she did with Mad Clown, this is the polar opposite, which is basically, this is the breakup song. The song is a girl pleading with a guy, and a guy telling her, no, this is, we're done. Like,
do you think it's supposed to be the end of You and Me?
I guess, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But
Because I'm even confused by the Hangul. Like, I'm even confused by what the Korean says here. And this is where we Google Translate.
Jananinga ara. Yeah, I don't know. But overall, it's kind of actually a pretty fun, cute, cool little R&B.
Like Google Translate.
He's gonna Google Translate, and I'm gonna say describe the song as a kind of a really cool little vocal collab. Kanto provides some really cool rapping as well, and it's actually a really cool little song. It's kind of that sound that is pretty popular, you know, very similar to what you've seen before with R&B rap collabs, you know, with the duos. And actually pretty cool. I don't know. What did you think, Kaz? Have you figured out the title, and what did you think of the song?
I liked it. It was just hard for me to kind of really... I just didn't get into it. I liked the song, but I just didn't really get into it, you know?
Yeah. It's not one that necessarily catches your attention and kind of hold it. It's a cool song, but yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from. How's the Google Translate come
out?
What?
Ingo joke out. I'm even more confused now.
All right. Yeah, Reina, Kanto of Troy. Pretty cool little song.
Yep.
You might dig it, you might not, but it's probably gonna be pretty successful. Probably, 'cause this is the kind of stuff that the Koreans like. But yeah, moving on to that new release, as we talked. This is the song that we mentioned last year that was going to last week. That was going to happen. I'm sure planned way in advance and not practiced over the weekend in a fit of hurry. I'm sure. Red Velvet's cover of SES's "Be Natural" featuring SM rookie Taeyong. Taeyong, not to be confused with another similarly named person. Be Natural. Once I kind of got the image of Mr. Be Natural from that episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000 out of my head, I was able to kind of enjoy this song. Is this one I actually kind of dug. It was different. It was not exactly what I would expect from Red Velvet. You know, coming off of Happiness, their debut song, and then like suddenly, hey, it's early 2000s K-pop sexiness. It's like, and an R&B track. They execute it masterfully though. And it's very interesting. Like it certainly doesn't seem done in a hurry. As much as kind of you want to just assume that this is, again, because of what Red Velvet's role seemingly is. But it's a interesting cover. It's an interesting song.
Yeah.
Release. I don't know. Well, what did you think of this song, this video?
I kind of enjoyed the cover of the song, and I mostly enjoyed the video, except, and this is where Kaz goes all artsy again. They kept doing this like half cut in, where like it would half cut into someone, but then fade back into the scene that it was already in.
Yeah.
And that was just kind of bothersome. And other than that, I enjoyed it. I even enjoyed the rapper, or even I kind of enjoyed like a lot of stuff about it. Like, it took a second. It's one of those songs that kind of take you a second, especially when you're watching it visually, because you're kind of like, and then it kind of, as you keep watching it, you're like, oh, okay. Which makes me think, if I feel like that, right? Like, I'm a type of person, I'm going to watch a video, I'm going to stick with it, right?
Yeah.
But generally, most people are going to start to watch something and go, I don't know. And then move on to the next thing, you know? You find it really, really it varies person to person, but I would say like a lot of people nowadays give something about a minute to catch them, and it didn't catch me in the first minute.
Yeah, I can show you the metrics for our episodes on YouTube and them retention numbers. That steep cliff of the retention chart. Oh god, retention charts. But yeah, I definitely understand that. It kind of takes a little bit to build on you. And you know, it's a different kind of song. And it definitely kind of threw me for a loop a little bit, just because I was like, "This is Red Velvet." This is not what these are not the Red Velvet girls I know. But yeah, I think it's a quality release.
It's one of those things. It was a thing that was able to show good variety, to show that they could do something different. You know, so
good on you.
At the end of the day, I don't know. I'm over here with it.
Yes. But last new release to talk about, we're going to quickly, before we get into our headlines, VIX, a group that we mentioned before, a group that we talked about in passing, I think, before. VIX came out with their new single, Error. And it's definitely an interesting video and kind of an interesting song, kind of a good song, but definitely kind of a out there video. But you almost kind of expect that from VIX. VIX is the main guy playing a scientist creating robots with human souls or memories or something, and Youngji's dead and he's reviving Youngji, new member of Kata. And, you know, he's heartbroken, but he's trying to regain his lost love.
Can we go to like a specific point though? Around 120?
Yes. All right, let's go. Yes.
What is on his head?
I don't know. I've been trying to formulate and understand. Oh god, that's beautiful furious right there. Give me a second. I'm gonna go ahead.
Exactly?
Control Shift print screen. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I do not understand.
Like, I know Korean fashion gets weird sometimes. What the fuck is on his head?
Yeah.
Like, that instantly, when I was watching the video, that instantly killed me. That was an insta, like, what was that? What? And they're like, no, just keep watching the rest of the video. I'm like, no, what was that back there? But no. Other than that, really good video. Reminds me a little bit of a 2 p.m. style video.
Yes.
I was waiting for, like, the daggers to fall out of the sky from VIX fans. Like, how dare you? But no, and I mean that in a really good way. Like reminded me a lot of a 2 p.m. kind of a heartbreaker style video. But it's really good. It's a really good song too. And for all the girls, there's a shirt off moment in there. So fangirl out, because there's a shirt off moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really cool song. It's really well performed. You know, it's got really cool, like, routine and dance routine. Fashion aside, the kind of the visuals of the video really, work well. I would say another point of silly is that ending dance move where they disconnect themselves and fall down. Is probably gonna look a little silly on music shows. But that's fine.
Don't you remember when 2 p.m. did Heartbreaker?
Yeah. It's you can't have CGI in music shows. But yeah, you know what? That's okay. Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun video. It's a fun song. It's a cool, like, you know, emotional song. It's cool. It's fun. But yeah, that's it for what we've been talking about. That's it for our music talk segment. We're going to transition over to our headlines. So join us right after the spinning globe graphic. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to some headlines. Welcome back to the headline segment here on Hallyujuku, as we talk about some topical topics here together to talk about what's going on in the world of East Asian pop culture. We've got a couple of big news items to talk about, but before that, we're going to talk about a little news item aside. We're going to talk about this. So, music show uploader in Japan arrested for sharing. A few days ago, on October 7th, police arrested Fujimura Hideaki for violating Japanese copyright law. Why? Because he uploaded Japanese television shows on Dailymotion. And God knows we don't want anybody outside of Japan being able to see Japanese content. And this article kind of does a really good job of basically tearing down kind of the copyright laws that are in place in Japan and how the system works and how much it handcuffs them from ever reaching kind of an international fan base. And more about that same stuff. And it's really kind of it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, like, I understand that you have a strong, big market there, that you don't really need to rely on anything outside of Japan, but it doesn't mean that you need to actively avoid having any international fan base, especially when you can do that when things like uploading to YouTube are free, and you can just do it. It costs no money and costs no bandwidth costs, like, just upload shit on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
And you can monetize it and make money off of it. And you know, it doesn't mean you can't, you know, it doesn't mean you have to invest a lot of money into going after some international market that you don't need. It's just, you know, let people have some access to the content. Or at least don't get in the way as much as you do. I don't know, what are your thoughts on this article and that stuff?
It's one of those things you know the crackdown was and is going to continue, and it's like I the arrest is one thing. I want to see what the severity is after the fact. You know, like that's the thing that I really want to know is how it's going to affect things in the future. I mean, one of the videos today that we displayed was Sungri at a concert, and it was definitely a fan upload, you know?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't find it anywhere else, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it probably is, but the SEO for it took me right to that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to display the song. I didn't necessarily want to display the video, but if there was a video of it, if there was an official video of it, you know, SEO better because the fan uploaders have better SEO than you do. And 2, use the market to your advantage. You know, like, it's just one of those things. It's just how the world works. Like, if you're not using the tools out there to promote yourself to your advantage, then you're doing it wrong. Like, everything that you do in these social circles when you're that big, or anyone for that matter. Like, for me and Petey, right? Anything we do on Twitter when we're mentioning K-pop, on Facebook when we're mentioning K-pop, on Google Plus when we're mentioning K-pop, if we use Instagram or something like that and we take a picture of a K-pop album, right? At a certain point, there's that thought that probably crosses Petey's mind, that crosses my mind. Maybe I should throw a link to Hallyujuku in here. Maybe I should throw a hashtag for Hallyujuku in here to lead them back to the Rebelli podcast site, you know? Mm-hmm. Whether they listen or not, it's that, oh, okay, that's what those guys do. Maybe I'll listen sometime. And then the more you do it, the more you have that interaction, the more you do those things, the more fans you get, the more word of mouth you get, the more people you get coming back to buy your content and listen to your content and do all those things. And basically, these people are doing that for you for free. You have people who are going out, taking your content, putting it up to drive back to your content for free. Now, yeah, in a certain light, you're not making anything off that. You're not making any money off the monetization of that or anything like that. But
even like the way YouTube works, even where YouTube works now, you can be like you can flag it, but instead of taking it down, you can say, okay, this is my content. Go ahead and put ads on it, and I'll benefit. That's how it kind of works. If you put my content that uses somebody else's music, one of the kind of the default states that they can set, instead of saying take this down automatically, you say, okay, put a little thing that says, hey, check the music featured is this artist by this and this song by this artist, and it goes on the bottom of the description of that video. And sometimes they will automatically put ads on the video, and that money goes back to that artist, goes back to that copyright holder. So you can be making money off of those videos. One thing. B, the international audience is not something you have to invest a lot of money in. Like I said, it's free. Just put videos on YouTube. AKB48 does it. Carrie Pami, I think, does it. And she does content there. You can, unknown nobody groups like that we love, like Femme, they get word of mouth because they put a bunch of videos on YouTube and people can watch them for free. And I imagine they sold, I'd like to imagine that they sold quite a few of the, albums download once they actually had the album up for sale, despite the fact that you can watch all the videos for free on YouTube. Because, it's word of mouth. People, hey, this is cool video. All these awesome cool videos, and it costs you no money to put them on there. It costs them money to make the videos, but that's okay. You're going to do this anyway. You're creating this content. Why not do this extra step to just throw that up on YouTube, put maybe an English name or at least some proper tags, and it's no extra effort. You don't have to actively avoid the international audience. J-pop, come on. Especially in this prime moment where, due to global ignorance, you can ride the coattails of K-pop right now. If you do this, you can, especially some groups, they can ride the coattails of K-pop, as being J-pop, because the international audience doesn't know any better. I mean, the casual fans, us enthusiasts, we know, but the casual fans don't know any better, and they'll go, if they can go over there, they'll go over there too, if they're interested. So do it. Let it be, stop being dumb. But yeah, come on, Japan, you can do it. I believe in you. We believe in you. We want there to be an active juku aspect to this show, Hallyujuku. That's the reason I threw in the juku at the end. I don't want this just to be a K-pop podcast. But you have to kind of inspire me to want to get into, I will make the effort, but you gotta do some effort yourself.
You gotta meet us halfway.
But yeah. All right, that is that. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. First off, MBLAQ. MBLAQ had an interesting week, to say the least.
The sadness that is my heart.
Yeah, MBLAQ, of course, a group that both of us enjoy and love. Had a very interesting week. A few headlines. First of all, there was a word from creative director of MBLAQ's concert, Randy No, on his Instagram saying that they were all going to enlist in the army as soon as this concert was done, and that caused kind of a big interest. It caused a lot of word of mouth, a lot of back and forth. But even that was like, oh, okay, that's interesting, and that left me thinking, that let me think, it was like, oh, okay, that's actually kind of cool, because we had heard previously that this was something 2PM was planning on doing, which is everybody goes to the military at once, so that they all do their 2 years, or less than 2 years, and they all come back at the same time. And that's it. You don't have one member going and then coming back, and the other member going to come back, the other member coming to come back. You don't have this long time of this incomplete group. You just all go and all come back. And then that time, the group is away for a couple of years, but then they're back and then all together, and they would stay together. There was a back and forth, but overall, the conversation was kind of leaning towards a positive place. I don't know what were your thoughts? Were you following along with these headlines and these news as it was coming along? At this point.
I saw one that said something about possible something with MBLAQ. It was talking about, like, I think it was something about the military thing, and I think that's the only one I had originally seen. And then I think you had kind of sent me something else that said, something differ to the military thing. So it was just like, okay, there's a lot of rumor and speculation going on, a lot of he said, she said. We'll kind of wait till the dust settles and really see what happens. Mm-hmm. And then a lot more dust got kicked up.
The next step was Lee Jun. I would say one of the more popular. I think one of the most popular, if not most popular, member of the group. Kind of the guy. Lee Jun, big time, big name in the variety circuit. Has a nice little budding acting career. So much so that he apparently is going to, once his contract runs out, is going to leave the group. That was the word. That he was going to leave the group once his contract runs out. Apparently he was not going to leave J-Tune, just refocus on acting. He's going to leave the group and then refocus on acting. And then this was the initial word, again, causing a little bit of worry, causing a little bit of a bummed out feelings. And, aside from, people getting excited at, more possible, rabbit humping scenes from him, like his, previous scenes. As we get ourselves kicked off of YouTube, with those gifs, those momentary gifs. But yeah, this was that next moment. What did this get in your radar, or did you jump in way after this?
I jumped in after this.
Okay, so this was kind of another blip, and then this caused some things to go back and forth. Gio had some kind of some words on his social networks, a little bit of some sarcasm, and a little bit of some comments that caused people to kind of have caused a little controversy. And then we got word that not only did they J-Tune release a statement regarding all of this, and we also got word that Thunder was also possibly withdrawing from the group. And then things going back and forth. And then the final word, and this is so far, things are still kind of going a little back and forth, but the word is that they're going to release one final album and then disband. Either that or possibly continue as a 3-person group. All that is still up in the air. J-Tune, I haven't seen any more official word from J-Tune, but there might be something up, but so far, there's a possibility that they will either disband or continue as a trio. No word how, again, if the military stuff is true or how that is going to factor. But it definitely looks like it's the end of MBLAQ as we know it. What are your thoughts, Kaz?
I like MBLAQ. I like MBLAQ style. I like a lot of the things that they do, and it just never really seemed like it. Like MBLAQ was not one of the groups on my radar to be like, things are so bad that nobody wants to be there. You know?
Yeah.
It never seemed that way. But there, like I say, with all of these things, there is something deeper. There's something way more deeply rooted in what's going on. Like right now, there's just like, ladies and gentlemen, let me get closer to the mic so you can understand this, ladies and gentlemen. The music industry that we love, the people that we love, are not happy. Like, that's all I can take from all of this. Like, look at the last 4 or 5 episodes of Hallyujuku. Like, people are not happy, you know?
Yeah.
In the Korean music industry. And they're making it very publicly known. There's a lot of shit going on. You got fucking idols taking over their music labels. You got like you got some thug ass shit going down, you know? And it just continues to get crazy with people trying to leave their groups and sue out of contracts. Like, this is basically all of MBLAQ going, yeah, nope, peace out. Like, you know, and I don't know if it's one or two of them are like, as the stories are unfolding, one or two of them are just kind of piecing out, and then maybe it's this whole overall thing that, like, well, if those two leave, then I'm leaving, you know, kind of like what's really going on in this industry, you know? And, you know, at the end of the day, the Korean music industry will just cycle some new kids through and we'll rant and rave for a little while, but then we'll see some nice dance moves and be like, that kid can dance really well. Wow, that's really nice. I like that. You know, they'll put the new shiny thing in front of us, but at the same time, we gotta stay focused. We gotta stay on point that there is something deep, dark going on, and we need to like really get to the bottom of it, man.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting, kind of how it shows a light into kind of how things are constructed and how the personality of people's career choices being perceived. So the thing about the interesting part of this particular instance of members wanting to leave the group, specifically Lee Jun, is the fact that it seems like it's simply just he's refocusing his career. He's been on this, you know, this major. He's changing his major, basically. He's been on this kind of set of responsibilities and focus, where it's been, you know, being a singer, being a, you know, idol, being an actor, you know, hopefully being an actor as part of that. And he sees an opportunity to say, hey, my contract is running out. Let's go ahead and refocus things. Let's go ahead and retool things. And I imagine his idea being, all right, I'm going to seek free agency. And they must have worked something out. I think it seems that he's just going to stay with J-Tune, but he must have said, okay, this is kind of where I really want my career to go. And which is not unheard of, especially for an idol to say, okay, the idol world isn't that much for me. I now have the clout and the freedom to really go where I wanted to go. Cause there are a lot of idols that get into being an idol with the end goal being acting. And you can see.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the thing for, if you go back and look at a lot of the stuff for the group, AKB, right? A lot of it was set up initially because it was supposed to be this jumping off point. It's supposed to be this point that you get into the industry because it's a really hard thing to get into, just being an actor, just being a comedian, just being a singer, just being an anything. In the entertainment industry, you know, in general. So it goes to the old adage of like, you're looking for a job and they tell you, yeah, this is an entry level job, for this position, basically. And, you have to have kind of these credentials. So you're like, all right. And then you scroll down and they're like, also 3 years of work experience in this specific job. You're like, oh, wait, how am I supposed to have 3 years of experience at the job that I am applying for? Because I need that job to get the experience so I can move on to other things.
Yeah.
And your head kind of explodes. So the idol thing was initially kind of presented as the jump off period. Like you join, you become an idol for a while, you learn all these skills, you learn how the business works, you get to do all these things, and then you have kind of this catalog of the senses, which I harp back to photography now because that's what I've been looking at a lot, is like you do the work so that you can show the work,
Yeah.
And that's what idol was supposed to be. It was supposed to be this thing where you could do the work so you could show the work so that you could move on to other things eventually. But because it brings in so much money, they try to lock people down into these forever contracts,
Yes.
where they're just like, you belong to us forever. Ah, ha, ha. Mr. Burns kind of, yes, kind of
And
thing.
if you're SM and you're the members of TVXQ, sometimes those contracts get renewed without the band members knowing it.
Right. So I think a lot of what's going on is these kids and these people being like, well, I only wanted to do this so that I can do blank. And now that I'm doing blank and I have the ability to do blank, I don't want to do the other thing anymore.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't mean as much to them as it does to us, They like it, probably. There's probably some good fun of it, but if your whole life you wanted to be an actor, putting out an album doesn't,
the whole promotion
necessarily
cycle of
your
being
thing.
an idol isn't maybe like the whole your thing. Like, and it's like I said, it's a thing that it's an avenue that is taken. Examples would be somebody that we adore, Yunin Hye, she of Coffee Prince, was originally in a girl group. Like back in the day, if you want to go back into the day, old school K-pop, she was in a girl group. And Yuna got into Girls' Generation, and let's face it, she's an actress, like more than she is a dancer or a singer. She's competent at the other things, but she is the actress of Girls' Generation.
Yeah.
Similarly, but not as severely, Soo Young as well. So you see that a lot. So, and when you have that moment where, okay, my contract is running out, what do I want to do now? Like I have the clout and the freedom. And then they do that. Now, that is not a crazy new thing, but and even this kind of the drama around it isn't a crazy new thing. But it's interesting, kind of how this year. I don't know if it's necessarily this year or if it's how much more focused we are as an international audience into K-pop this year. But this year has been all kind of a a constant onslaught of, different thing after different thing, in a variety of genres of scandals and craziness. But these kind of things get blown up a little bit, and the fact that it's causing this little domino effect of MBLAQ kind of shrapneling, possibly, when it's just, Lee Jun wants to act now. And this is causing the whole group to just shrapnel, possibly. Of course, we don't know for sure, but that's what it seems like. It's definitely interesting to kind of that being the after effects of something as simple as just refocusing your career. But it is. I think at the end of the day, the main thing is it's a bummer to kind of lose MBLAQ.
Yeah.
It's a huge bummer, and "Smoky Girl" is still my jam. Like, I know that's a recent song. I know that's not a song most longtime K-pop fans would cite as an MBLAQ song. But hey, that's the song. That's the song that caught my attention. In the short time I've been a K-pop fan. So, but that's still my jam. The "Smoky Girl, Smoky Girl, Smoky Girl, Smoky Girl." It's like, but yeah. It's a little sad to say goodbye to MBLAQ, and
So I mean, we could hope for the best, and most likely they'll get locked into something, or you know what I would love to see? I would love to see MBLAQ disappears and MBLAQ appears on an indie label with all the same members, huh? That's weird.
MBLAQ, and one thing for certain is that they'll all land on their feet. They'll all land on their feet. They all have the talent to land on their feet, and they're going to keep doing their thing. And Lee Jun will succeed, and Mir will continue to say waffle really hilariously cute. Whopper. English. And he will continue to write one day at the beginning of every entry of his diary. One day, I'm back out in the house. Everybody rice eats. God bless you, Amir. But moving on. We're going to miss you, MBLAQ. But moving on to the other scandal. I think chronologically we're going in reverse, but this is kind of the main event when it comes to the scandal. And it's almost kind of, this is a weird thing because it's almost an exact rerun. So if y'all remember back in the day, not when Kool Herc played, but back in the day this year, around the time when we were gallivanting about Rosemont, Illinois, at ASIN, a big thing happened where our boy Yeezus Luhan, better known as Chris, decided he wanted out. And he took the old JY.
Do we have to buy 2 jerseys now?
I think so. I think we each have to buy a jersey now. We're going to have to pick which one of us wants to be Chris and which one of us wants to be Luhan. Okay. And that's going to be fun. But Chris decided he won out, and we had our fun. And you can go back and kind of, we talked a hell of a lot about it around that time. Check out that episode. It's called In the End, the Enemy is Man. Because that was a fun title. But now, we come to now. That was the whole Chris situation with Chris's. And now, we got word this week that Luhan wants out of SM Entertainment. Luhan went ahead and got together with the exact same legal team that helped Chris, that is helping Chris get out of SM. Exact same entertainment, and a lot of the same reactions are happening. Though he did get a little bit of a voice of support from one of the other members of XOM, but it's it started out as rumors and then it turned out to be true. So believe rumors from now on.
Don't do that.
No. But it was. It just started kind of a snowball effect. So Luhan wanted out. We got word from SM. I believe it got confirmed by SM with a little bit of some snide remarks added as well. That because it's SM.
Like, all right. So with all the scandal that's been going on lately, SM is the saltiest of the fucking of the labels. Like, they are the ones who will instantly be like, man, you know what? We ain't like him in the first place because he was a bitch. And you're like, okay,
what?
Calm down a little bit, SM.
Yeah, it's like they released a statement and said he Luhan had expressed that he wanted to focus on individual activities in China, of course, rather than moving as a group with EXO due to health issues. We were in the middle of discussing his future activities, so this sudden lawsuit is puzzling. However, seeing that just as in the case with Chris, Luhan filed for a lawsuit with the same law firm in the same way without reason, makes us think that after gaining popularity with the group, he is now prioritizing his own personal benefit with disregard for those affected by the termination of his contract. Moreover, it seems that there is a behind-the-scenes influence Regarding the situation, we plan to take thorough action with international partners and legal experts, and we would like to state that EXO activities will all proceed as planned. Nothing to see here. Everything's going well as planned. I love
let me translate that for you. SM's like, we ain't even see this happening. You know what? He a bitch because he been talking to those motherfuckers in the backside that don't like us. And we don't care that they don't like us. And if he don't like us now, he a bitch. But we going to keep on doing what we do because that's what we do. SM out.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, you know, everything going back and forth. Some more show supports, but at the end of the day, it's another member of EXO cross off the list. We get to play EXO Battle Royal. You know, that great picture from that EXO Battle Royal. And I gotta find that graphic now. Fuck. Yeah, enjoy that graphic. But yeah, another member of EXO out. And more drama from SM. Another scandal. And they already wasted a Red Velvet comeback on Jessica. What are they gonna do now, Kaz?
It's like, it's just one of those things where they really need to refocus. They need to stop talking. They need to stop talking back. They need to stop trying to be the baddest bitch in school and focus on what is making these people want to leave EXO and SM, you know? Well, let's say SM, not necessarily EXO, right? Like, what is it that they're doing that is going on, that they're pushing, that they're having happen, that these guys are just like, you know what? It's not worth it. And I went out. Because it has to be something. There has to be something going on that Chris wanted out, that Luhan wants out. Like, there has to be something going on. And I think what needs to happen is SM as a company needs to refocus, because this is now turning into the key thing that this is turning into loss of money, you know? Because when you get to the point where it starts turning into loss of profit, you really, really need to reevaluate yourself and your plan and the things that are going on.
Yeah, the consequence of this, on top of the Jessica issues, you know, and as is wont to do, of course, with any kind of scandals with a publicly traded company, any kind of like public negative things, stocks are going to drop immediately. But they're consistently, so the immediate drop isn't as big of a deal just because stocks is, you know, just people saying things. That's just people's opinions, man. It looks like numbers and facts, but it's really just people's opinions that get turned into money and facts. But the sustained dissatisfaction and lack of confidence in the company is something that seems like it's kind of staying for at least the immediate future, and reflected in their stock that's kind of dropping like a stone. They're currently second in overall worth, behind YG number one. Or YG bias. See, it's not a YG bias. They really are the best company in K-pop, at least according to their stocks. Just, you don't complain at us. But it's a couple. So this all is a couple of things. So it's the consistent pattern ever since JYJ. The JYJ was kind of the first to go by this avenue. But the consistent pattern ever since has been that it's been Chinese members who have careers to jump to in China. And it's partially one of two things. It seems that it is, you know, the standard idols getting treated like shit, idols getting treated like commodities and products rather than human beings. And then add on top of that, Take that. That's the foundation that we know exists throughout the entire industry. And on top of that, the fact that they're Chinese members, so they get treated like extra shit. Let's just face it, the Chinese get treated like extra shit because they're, of course, they're lesser. Let's just be honest. Racism is real. And the fact that, you get all those feelings and all those feelings of being trapped and treated like crap. And I'll add to the fact that, the temptations, like, there's a career out there. There's that money out there. I could just go to China and make money on my own. And it is for personal gain and personal career choice. Yes, they're doing these decisions because they want to better their personal careers. They want to pursue personal career options. They want to get money. And that's fine, That's fine. That's exactly what they should do. And that's a big motivator for why this is happening. It's going to be the Chinese members, and it's going to be consistent with that because, let's just say, it's going to be something that taking from that, what I feel for is the fact that, all the Korean members Korean, idols and trainees that are feeling just as trapped and just like they want to get outside, but they don't have China. They don't necessarily have China because Jessica has China. She's not Chinese, but she has China. She has connections with Tyler Kwan, and she has her fashion label. She has her Weibo account. There's a reason why she has a Weibo. She has her fandom out over there, but they know that they can't do the same thing as Chris and Luhan and Hang did because, hey, you ever see JYJ on television, on variety shows, on music shows, on any of those shows? No, you don't. And there's a certain 2-letter company that's making sure of that. Because you can bring on JYJ. I hope you don't want to ever have EXO back again. There's always that. Like, I hope you don't ever want to have Girls' Generation on again. I hope you never want to have, Super Junior again on your show if you want to go ahead and bring on JYJ. Because that's, it's not said, but it's very obvious that, they haven't promoted. They just had a comeback. JYJ just had a comeback. Did you ever see them perform on any single music show? No. It's because then that's why they know that they can't do the same thing because they know it's like, well, the only way they can is if they know they have a career elsewhere with SM. And it's one of those things we've talked about how this is an issue in the industry as a whole, how the idols are treated, how they feel trapped. It seems like it's an extra feeling of entrapment with SM. Because if you think about all the other situations with other labels, they've usually just been able to let their contracts finish out and kind of leave.
Yeah.
Or, or even Dongho from UKISS just asked to leave and he was like, okay, go, kind of be free, go do your thing. And they let him go and said positive things about him on his way out. And they said, man, he wants to kind of focus on his own personal life and we wish him all the best and he's doing great. We're going to miss him. We love him. And they said positive things as he left and they kind of let him go in a positive way. But SM is, like the title of our last episode said, this place is a prison. These people aren't your friends. Calling back that title I gave it. And I couldn't get away. I wish I could have named that episode something else, but it's just the thing that came into my brain. Just from this and now this, just from that and now this even solidifies it even more. I don't know. What do you think, Kaz?
I mean, it's just, I agree with you. Like, it's just, there's nothing else I could do but agree with you because that is what it is. It's just like I said, SM just seems to be the worst of them all. Like, no matter what happens, they are just the saltiest. They are just like, they are always the ones to fire back. Whenever there's kind of stuff, rumors about anyone else leaving, and then it kind of turns into, oh, it looks like it might be true. Like, you don't really hear the company firing back against the person like you do with SM. Like, and just the factor that how much more people have to go through with SM. They have to sue. They have to go through all these things, you know, and then it does become like SM tries to blacklist them in a certain sense. Like, I mean, like, look how hard they went at Chris, where they were like, nobody from the group can talk to him, like, all this stuff that is just, like, unnecessary, and just, you're just, makes you, like, what is really going on over there? And then, and it just makes them seem like the worst, offender of everyone, you know? And it just doesn't help the situation at all. You know, so I don't know. I would like to see a little more tact from SM. I would like to see them be a bit better, and maybe that could lead to just different things. Maybe somebody should take over at SM.
Yes.
You know? Like,
maybe
that's where the hostile takeover should happen.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I'm wondering if Boa would be a better leader. I know she's been like the heir apparent for a while. I know she's kind of busy in Japan nowadays, but still, you know, have her take over. I want to see how she leads the league, you know, the team at SM. What's her leadership level like? What is her style? You know, have her kind of NWO it like our boy from Isaiah did over at the other company. I don't know. There definitely needs to be a change in personality and a change in approach in a lot of places, but especially SM. And it's just kind of crazy. It's just kind of it's a little disconcerting as a fan to kind of realize that how broken the personality and the environment is over there. Like how stuffy that must feel over there. And it's just got to be scary to be as part of that company, that big company that has all that money and influence behind it, to kind of make you feel trapped and make you feel insignificant and expendable. And it almost makes you kind of wonder, like, why even try? But you know, just people trying to live their dreams, and it's like, but yeah, let's kind of, finish off on that note, I guess, before I keep rambling on and making absolutely no sense. And finish up on that note, and wish, for better things from the K-pop industry and for better, things from the powers that be all around in the K-pop industry. We really wish y'all can just wake up. Wake up, motherfuckers. Wake up. But that's it. We're gonna leave it at that note. Kaz, what is going on in your neck of the woods?
Pretty much the only thing is check out 500px. I'm putting a lot of effort into that, which will not a lot of effort. It's just another social network, but mainly for, hey, I take pretty pictures. It's, you know, it's not your mama's Instagram of, hey, I took a picture of my cat and I put a filter on it. For me, it's like, hey, this is my hobby taken to the next level of hobby for me. Yes. And right now I'm just kind of looking for that feedback of like, oh, you're okay at the camera stuff, or, ooh, sell your camera. Like,
yes.
Other than that, is gonna be working on our year-end episode for Hallyujuku. There's gonna be a lot of work that goes into that. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope the 4 or 5 of you that listen are looking forward to it too. Yeah, it might be a couple episodes.
We got a lot of things to talk about. Yeah. 2014 was crazy, but look forward to that. Yeah, about.me/KingKaz, if I can point it the right direction. About.me/KingKaz, to follow all that stuff. For me, about.me/PDRave. I'm PD Rave everywhere on the internet. It's pretty simple to find me. Find the show at Hallyujuku, K-Poppodcast.com, Hallyujuku.com. You can remember how to spell it, but K-Poppodcast.com. Go ahead and share with your friends. Let them know. Check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We do the video thing now, which is interesting. I'm still thinking and formulating how we're gonna. I've got plans for YouTube. I've got plans. They're very vague, and they mostly come to me when I'm about to fall asleep, so I forget most of them. But I've got plans.
You need what I have, which is a Taylor Swift journal that you just keep next to you.
Yes,
times, so
I will do
down.
such thing. I have notebooks everywhere, but I will write down these plans and we'll work on them. But that's it. Look out for that.
We'll get Petey a Gilmore Girls notebook.
Yes. And that will be planned. But until next time, look out for that. Until next time, hasta los huevos. Annyeong. Fighting. Alright. Here is this for you to enjoy.
Yes.
God, man, it's like, what is that? It's not a.
Is that on your head?
It looks pleated. Like, like your instincts want to say it's a knit cap or something, but it's
not. It looked like a pair of jeans that just like
you put on your head. It looks like a fabric. It looks like fabric, but the shape is like if you had to make a newspaper hat, but you weren't good at it. So you just kind of rolled it up and did a crumple on the top and made your hat that way.
Oh my god.